All right, lovelies. This is Liz. How you doing? We're going to read today Anthony Norvell's Universal Secrets of Telecosmic Power, Chapter 3. I want to remind you that my coaching is open. I also do healing work. And my new book called The Light Within should be out soon. All right, let's go. Chapter 3, Achieve Life's Greatest Goals Through the Telecosmic Dream of Perfection. Hidden within your higher mind centers is God's perfect dream for your future life. This dream is one of ultimate perfection for all forms of creation. You have been given the power to achieve every dream and desire that God has put into your mind, heart, and soul. Do you long for love happiness? You can achieve it. Do you dream of being independently rich? It is possible for you to become powerful, successful, and rich. Do you want friends, a business of your own, gifts, talents? These things can be achieved through the use of telecosmic power that will cause you to reach your highest goals in life. You can invoke the supreme power of telecosmic forces to elevate your consciousness to the super realms of great achievement that has always been attained by the immortals. The secret telecosmogram that you can flash to your subconscious and superconscious minds when you aspire to great achievement is, I achieve. You have the power to rise above your own limited situations in life and grow wings of the imagination, which can help you rise above poverty, lack, limitation, sickness, sadness, suffering, misery, loneliness, and discontent. The secret telecosmogram that geniuses have always used to rise above the ignorance and limitations of their times was encompassed in the words, I achieve. Pericles, who conceived the magnificent blueprint for and built the Parthenon in ancient Athens, Greece, was inspired by this desire to achieve a building so perfect that it has been called one of the world's most perfect creations for over 2,500 years. Michelangelo, considered one of the greatest geniuses who ever lived, undoubtedly tapped telecosmic power in his desire to achieve perfection in his sculptures and his masterpieces. When he was 74, he came out of retirement to paint his heroic masterpiece in the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican at Rome. He lay on a scaffold for 12 to 14 hours a day, painting on the chapel's ceiling his gigantic masterpiece of the creation of the universe by God. In that scene, he shows Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden and the gigantic figure of God reaching out through the cosmos, touching the finger of Adam, inspiring him with creative life. This desire to achieve greatness is in every human being when he is touched by the finger of God. Through telecosmic power, the cosmic mind can touch and inspire your creative imagination and arouse the latent desire within your mind to make of your life a magnificent masterpiece. There's an angel in that stone. A story is told of Michelangelo that as he walked one day past an artist's studio, he found a discarded, weather-stained piece of marble in his backyard. The great artist took the heavy marble up onto his shoulders and was struggling toward his studio with it. An artist friend of his passed him on the street and said, Michelangelo, what in heaven's name are you planning to do with that weather-stained old piece of marble? The great genius, with a flash of creative fire in his eyes, replied, There's an angel in that stone, and I must get it out. With that dream of perfect achievement, Michelangelo carved from that weather-stained, discarded block of marble one of the most delicate and perfect statues of an angel that the world has ever seen. The angel that slumbers within your soul. An angel slumbers within your own immortal soul. Telecosmic power is the keen chisel that can carve from that obdurate block or marble, which is your life, the most delicate, beautiful, and perfect statue which shall become an imperishable memorial to your greatness. Great artists, musicians, composers, inventors, scientists, reformers, mystics, seers, and prophets have all had this magnificent dream imprisoned within their souls, and their life mission was to release the slumbering angel of beauty, glory, and ultimate perfection. Beethoven and Chopin used this telecosmic power to create their soaring musical compositions. Rembrandt, Raphael, and Titian caught the dream supreme of cosmic beauty in their glorious artistic achievements. Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle comprehended the mystery of telecosmic power in their brilliant philosophies. Shakespeare, Byron, Keats, Shelley measure telecosmic rhythm and cadence in iridescent jewels of poetry and literature that have set high standards for generations. Washington and Lincoln used telecosmic power to weld a young nation into bonds of unity and freedom. Pasteur and Newton each unlocked telecosmic power within their higher subconscious minds that told them secrets of the invisible world in their discoveries of germs and the power of gravity or magnetism that holds our Earth and Moon in space by an invisible hand, causing them to spin around the sun. Einstein and Edison both used this creative intelligence to achieve their great discoveries through telecosmic power. But genius is not limited to the distant past. In our own age, telecosmic power is still being channeled and used to create greatness. In modern music, Bacharach, Berlin, and Gershwin have brought our age the pulse beat of modern generations. In drama, Tennessee Williams, Edward Albee, and Arthur Miller have produced great works through the telecosmogram I Achieve. In our modern age, William Faulkner, Thomas Wolfe, and other great authors have created literature that will survive. A former student of telecosmic power rebuilt the London Bridge. A man came into our lecture work in Los Angeles and absorbed the principles of telecosmic power. He had a desire to achieve something great. He asked his higher mind to give him a creative idea that would bring pleasure to millions of people. One day on a trip to London, he observed the London Bridge. This triggered some kind of subconscious reaction that fitted his desire to achieve. He made inquiries and found that the famous historic bridge was being torn down. He offered to buy it and transport it intact to his hometown of Havasu City in Arizona on the banks of the Colorado River, where he had it completely restored as a sightseeing spectacle. Now each year, hundreds of thousands of tourists are able to see and walk upon the historic London Bridge. This idea that came through telecosmic power has not only brought this man enduring fame, but has made him a fortune. How to use the telecosmograms of I Achieve to attain life's highest goals. 1. Sit quietly and concentrate your mind on the telecosmogram I Achieve. Let it flow into your subconscious mind with several repetitions of these key words. You will feel a gentle flow of power that vibrates through your higher mind centers. Number 2, after you have triggered your subconscious mind with these key words, read the following telecosmograms, which you will now feed into your higher mind centers. After reading them, let them go, knowing they are indelibly imprinted on your sensitive subconscious and superconscious minds, ready for instant action when triggered with the keywords I Achieve. I achieve. My higher mind centers are now programmed with the awareness that I am striving for life's highest goals. I am no longer content with an ordinary destiny. I wish to achieve the greatest, create the most beautiful, and aspire to the highest goals possible of attainment. Woohoo! I am now inspired by the lofty ideals that have motivated geniuses of the past. I duplicate their deeds. I emulate their patterns of thoughts. My mind becomes the receiving center for high and noble thoughts. I long for fame and success. I desire recognition, money, and other rewards from life. I wish for popularity and the respect of my friends. I want to own my own business, do something creative and outstanding. I wish to live in a beautiful home that is tastefully and comfortably furnished. I long for money in the bank with which to meet all my needs. I desire travel, cultural benefits, and new experiences that will give me a broader outlook on life. I desire intellectual achievement that will bring my fullest mental potentials into focus. 3. When you have fed the above list of telecosmograms into your subconscious mind, triggered by the keywords I Achieve, select the particular field in which you wish to excel, and then consciously project the following telecosmograms, which are cosmic thought forms of the various fields of endeavor in which you wish to excel. Now, one note here, I might change out the words I long for fame and success and I long for money to I desire or I achieve or something like that, because sometimes words like long and want make your subconscious think that you want to continue to long for it or want it. Make sense? All right. I wish to achieve success as an artist. Sit quietly and let your mind absorb the full import of the key achievement you desire. Visualize as you close your eyes the most beautiful landscapes and seascapes you have ever seen. Let your mind dwell on scenes from nature. towering mountain ranges in the distance with a purple haze softening their outlines against a cerulean blue sky. Soft, lazy white clouds sailing in the skies above, and vast expanses of land between the mountain ranges. Mentally stand beside the ocean's edge at sunset and see the silhouettes of fishing boats in the distance. See the flaming incandescent crimson and gold staining the western horizon and the deep blue water extending out to infinity. As you mentally absorb the joy and beauty of all creation, you are automatically triggering your subconscious mind with an intense desire to capture this flaming beauty and recreate it for the entire world to share with you and enjoy. How a housewife used telecosmic powers to become a great artist. A woman of 50 who came to my lectures in Los Angeles told me she was a widow without children, living alone on a pension she had earned as a public school teacher. She said, "I do not need more money, nor do I want to marry again. I had a wonderful husband, and that memory is sufficient. But," she added wistfully, "I have a sense of loneliness, not knowing what to do with my life, where to go from here." This lady lived at the beach in a little home near the water, and her house was surrounded by beautiful eucalyptus trees. She was comfortable, but felt a sense of uselessness, which often overtakes people who have no future goal to achieve. Her appearance was neat, with subdued clothing, but showing a sense of the artistic and creative. Something made me suggest that she take up painting as a hobby. She instantly grasped at the idea. "It's strange that you should say that. A friend of mine is taking an art course and has been urging that I do the same thing, but I did not feel I had any talent." Then I told her if she really wished to develop a talent for painting or anything else, she should begin at once to program her subconscious mind with the telecosmogram I achieve or I create. I gave her the particular cosmic programming I thought she needed and asked her to report to me regularly on her progress. I won't dwell at length on this woman's amazing achievements in art, but suffice it to say she did enroll in the course in landscape painting. She kept at it for 2 years, coming regularly to my classes from time to time. She was soon painting charming scenes of eucalyptus trees with glimpses of the shimmering Viridian Sea shining through branches, little beach houses with gardens and the sea forming a beautiful background. She joined a women's art group for the next year, had her first chance to be exhibited, and won praise from all the other members. Within 3 years, this woman became one of Southern California's most outstanding women artists, with orders for more canvases than she could paint. She truly achieved the high goal she humbly set out to attain. The one thing I want to note here, this is Liz, is that, see, it took 2 years and then 3 years. So these things don't always happen in a month. They can, but it's really good to begin your new life by starting these things. Who knows if it's going to take a month, 6 months, 10 years, 3 years, but just go be about it, right? Okay, here's another area. I wish to become a successful composer. If you love beautiful music and wish to make a success in this highly competitive field, first select the field in which you wish to achieve success. Is it to be the classical field of concert or opera? Is it to be musical comedy for stage, TV, or screen? Do you wish to go into the rock and roll field and write for popular recording artists? Do you long to write ballads with a love theme? When you have selected the field of music you wish to enter, be certain first that you have an adequate musical background, and if you do not have, you can enroll in classes in music and composition in evening high schools or in special schools to be found in most good-sized towns and cities. And of course, there's so much online now. We all know that. A young pianist achieved his great dream. In my many years of lecturing at Carnegie Hall, I often had young beginning pianists who appeared with my programs. There was one young man who played at our lectures and classes. He began to project telecosmograms that he would achieve great success as a composer. He worked part-time in a health food store, but he did not make enough to care for his wife and 2 children, so he needed a bigger income, as well as to express his desire to achieve the creation of beauty for others. One day, Ted Mossman, for that was his name, got an inspiration to write a beautiful ballad called "Till the End of Time." It became a bestseller of his time, and from that one song, he received an offer from Hollywood to write movie themes for the studios. He moved to a perfect, beautiful home in the San Fernando Valley and achieved the perfect living that he programmed into his subconscious mind. So here's some words that Norvell offers. I create. I instruct my higher mind to program a career for me in which I shall become a famous composer of popular songs. I absorb all beautiful sounds in nature. I attune my mind to glorious music of every type. I respond to the sounds of nature, the sighing of the wind through the treetops, the splashing of waves as they gently kiss the sands at the seashore. I am in tune with the falling rains that wash clean the face of all the earth and cause flowers to bloom. I am aware of the magic sounds of crickets at eventide, which proclaim the end of day. And in the bright aura of sunrise, I am attuned to the songs of meadowlarks and nightingales as they echo the joys of the newborn day. Other telecosmograms to use for becoming an actor, singer, dancer, or public speaker. All the creative arts are allied, and by using the keywords I achieve or I create, you can usually set into motion the tremendous creative intelligence of your subconscious mind to release whatever form of creative talent you desire. I achieve or I create. I now project to my subconscious mind the desire to create high and inspiring ideas to project through my voice, my personality, and my thoughts. I wish to charm and enchant people through my magnetism. I wish to sway public opinion through my thoughts and ideals. I desire to entertain, instruct, inspire, uplift, and ennoble millions of people through my own creative efforts. I project the rhythm, motion, and grace of my body, my voice, and my presence in patterns of light and beauty, bringing relaxation, enjoyment, and inspiration to audiences all over the world. I choose the medium of the public stage, TV, motion pictures, radio, and concert halls. I would also add internet, etc., social media, to project my talents for public acclaim. I emulate the highest standards in my field, and I perfect myself, so I shall be worthy of the rich rewards that are commensurate with the effort expended. So listen to this story, guys, you'll love it. I recall a beautiful red-haired young actress who was under contract to RKO Studios in the days when I was the advisor to the movie stars of Hollywood. We were being photographed together for a movie magazine, and later we had lunch in the commissary. She was a little downcast as we ate, for she told me she had just received notice that her contract was being terminated that day. I told her not to worry, for I would give her my famous magic circle and show her how to become a great success. After about an hour in which I programmed her higher mind with telecosmic power, showing her how to release magnetism from her higher mind centers, she seemed to feel better at once. When I was getting ready to go, she laughed and said, "Now, Norvell, with your magic circle, I shall become a big star. And do you know what I'm going to do? Someday I'm coming back to RKO, buy the studio, and fire everyone who just fired me." We both laughed at her joke, and before leaving her, I said, "Would you please give me your name? I want to keep track of your future career." The bright redhead replied, "Sure, my name's Lucille Ball." Exactly 15 years later, now look, guys, it's 15 years later, but it's a life, right? You may as well be about it. Lucille Ball returned and bought RKO Studios for a reputed $15 million, and true to her word, she fired everyone on the lot and went on to the greatest success on TV that any star has ever known. You go, girl. Ugh. You can literally perform miracles with telecosmic power when you release the hidden magic power that resides in your mind. You can use the keywords I create or I achieve for any of the following professions: lawyer, doctor, designer, architect, engineer, photographer, politician, businessman, inventor, explorer, investment broker, real estate operator, aviation, electronics, industrialist. The keywords I achieve or I create will work their magic for you in any field you choose. Select the special work in which you wish to excel, and then sit quietly each day for 15 minutes for at least 2 or 3 weeks, feeding your subconscious mind the keywords I achieve or I create with the following telecosmograms and telecosmographs. Remember, the telecosmograms are the 2 words. The telecosmographs are the rest of the words. Here we go. I achieve or I create. I wish to express my creative talents in business and industry and wish to achieve the highest goals possible of attainment. I am a channel for the reception of brilliant ideas which I shall use in my field of endeavor. I ask that my subconscious mind now release a stream of golden ideas that will be converted into monetary success, public recognition, fame, and glory. I ask that my subconscious mind release to me the creative ideas, the inventions, the business methods, the secret formulas, the skills, and other elements I shall require to make me reach the highest pinnacles of success in my chosen field. When you have triggered the automatic reactions of your higher mind centers with these telecosmograms, use the following telecosmographs to project the cosmic pictures to your higher mind centers of the actual fulfillment in your field of endeavor. Sit each day and visualize quietly your career in all its details. See your office with your nameplate on the door. Visualize the secretary sitting at the desk answering the telephone, taking orders for your goods or services. See the store you want to own with clerks waiting on people. See the cash pouring into the cash register. Visualize yourself banking it and drawing checks for the things you want. If you want to become a lawyer, visualize yourself in court, pleading cases before a judge and jury. See yourself receiving the favorable verdict you desire for your client. If you wish to become a successful doctor or nurse or radiologist or chiropractor, or be it in any of the healing arts, project the telecosmographs of the sick people being healed, of your office being crowded with people who need your services. Visualize the hospital where you want to work, the location of your office. If you want to become an inventor of some special object, project the mental pictures of yourself discovering a new method for using some old object or creating something new. See yourself obtaining the patent. Visualize a manufacturer buying it and producing it for mass consumption. If you wish to become an explorer or traveler, get maps and brochures from travel agencies of the places you wish to go to, and see yourself making discoveries, taking films for showing on TV and in theaters. Visualize yourself writing a book, being on social media, write about your experiences, showing your films and videos before large audiences. How a former student of mine became a famous explorer. Some years ago, when I was lecturing in Carnegie Hall, a young man came to me for a personal interview. He wanted me to advise him on his future career. A psychic flash told me he was the type who would become a success as an explorer in foreign lands. I told him of this intuitive feeling, but he assured me that this was the furthest thing from his mind, as his background and training had not been in that direction. However, the mental seed had been planted, and he left my office, telling me that he would let me know how things turned out. A few months later, I heard from him, and Lewis Cutlow, for that was his name, told me that a most surprising thing had happened. He had an opportunity to go to South Africa on a safari, but not with guns for killing animals, but with cameras to do a motion picture of the primitive life of the pygmies and other tribes in the deepest jungles. Months later, Lewis Cutlow returned with a fabulous motion picture in Technicolor showing these primitive tribes, and his picture was shown in theaters throughout the country and on television. But the biggest surprise came later when he wrote a most successful book detailing his exciting adventures in darkest Africa. Since that time, he has explored the Amazon basin in South America, New Guinea, and the Aborigines in Australia, being the first white man to bring back pictures of these fascinating little-known tribes. His subconscious mind never forgot the mental programming I had given it years before. Use a cosmic scrapbook of destiny for your telecosmographs. To make your telecosmographs more impressive so that they will be more forcibly imprinted on your subconscious mind, paste pictures which you cut out of newspapers and magazines into a scrapbook of destiny. Then review these pictures each day when you do your mental work. If you wish to become a famous architect or interior decorator, cut pictures out of magazines of beautiful homes, different styles of architecture, and rooms furnished in various styles and colors. Obviously, guys, this is a vision board. Call it whatever you like. If you want to design cars or other industrial objects, cut out pictures of beautiful modern cars, airplanes, and motorboats, and paste them into your scrapbook of destiny. Look at these daily, projecting these telecosmographs to your higher consciousness with the telecosmograms that you wish to do similar work. These will then become programmed into your subconscious mind, and you will be guided to methods for achieving this desirable goal. If you want to become a stockbroker or an investment specialist, form telecosmographs of the investment field by reading the Wall Street Journal, Fortune, Forbes, etc. Learn the stories back of the lives of rich men such as J.P. Morgan, Vanderbilt, Rockefeller, Paul Getty, Howard Hughes, Aristotle Onassis, W. Clement Stone, Mr. Hunt of Texas, Bernard Baruch of Woolworth, and other great industrialists and businessmen. Study the lives of famous men and women who have achieved greatness in their particular fields. Try to learn of their mistakes so you may avoid them. Emulate their thoughts. Follow their guiding inspirations. Be aware of the guiding light back of their careers, a sweetheart, mother, or wife who inspired them, or the love of some person that acted as a subconscious subconscious spur to their careers. Then try to guide your own subconscious mind to duplicate the same inspiring forces to guide you to great achievement in your field. How a former student of mine became a successful publisher. A young man named Melvin Powers came to my lectures and classes in Carnegie Hall and learned of the secrets that can be achieved through telecosmic power. He began working to evolve as a writer with the idea that one day he might become a prominent publisher. His subconscious mind led him to investigate everything in the field of publishing and writing. Finally, he was inspired to write a book called Dynamic Thinking. Then later, he was directed by his subconscious mind to start his own publishing firm, which he called Wilshire Publishing. His work succeeded, and only recently he was offered $4 million for his successful business, which he rejected. Okay, great chapter. I want to point out some things. So many of us have been sort of, as I'll say, black-pilled by hearing some of these famous names. Some of us feel that maybe some of the business people were corrupted or corrupt, that they got their money from nefarious means, et cetera, et cetera. So this took me for a long time. I've said this before, but this took me a while to look into mental science and new thought, because I was like kind of jaded, like, oh, they just got their money free from somewhere else. They didn't earn it. But I had to think about this for a couple of years, but I realized that the techniques still work, even if we feel we have information on these people, that maybe they didn't make all their own money. Okay, so I wouldn't let the black pilling make you turn down the techniques. Do as you will. The other thing is sometimes the language is archaic, and so going to darkest Africa and things like that, the only white man, this may be seen as offensive to some, and I'm pretty sure Norvell didn't mean it. It was how he talked in the 70s. But anyway, I want to point that out, that I don't think that was the intention. And also the point of, like I said, that sometimes things take time. Like Lucille Ball bought RKO 15 years later. So again, I would just say, be about your beautiful life and carry on anyway. Anyway, I've said everything I want to say about this chapter. It's lovely. I enjoy it. I hope you do too. Blessings and take care.